Hey traders, welcome back to another live trading video. I'm taking a look at CAD yen here, and I just picked up a long position. And in this video, what we're going to do is I'm going to show this trade, why I took the trade, and then we're going to watch it entirely start to finish together. Now, this is a little bit of a higher time frame trade, so this trade may take a bit of time, but let me go ahead and see if I can set this up. So what I did is I actually went long here, CAD yen, off of a couple different technical levels. And this is actually mostly a technical trade with a slight fundamental catalyst I'll talk about in a second. Now, from a technical perspective, what we have here is we have a really strong uptrend on the daily chart that I'm looking to be a part of after we recently have pulled back on the CAD yen. You can actually see a couple of indicators or a couple arrows here where I've recently tried to buy the CAD yen and it actually didn't go so hot. In this case, I took a small loss, and in this case, I also took a small loss. So I'm back again and seeing if I can turn things around on CAD yen. So my idea here is as follows. We come down to this level of support here on the daily chart. You can see basically where we had a big key breakout point. We broke above this level, we held it, and we rallied for the several days to follow. Now, as we pull back to that same level, I'm looking for a pretty good reaction, and we've already got a good start to the trade with this candle right here, followed by the previous two candles where we've seen basically a bit of rejection in the area. You can see each time prices come down to this 105.53 area, we've seen pretty fast rejection from buyers. So at this point, what I'm doing is I'm basically willing to take the risk that I think we could continue to rally back up on the longer time frames, higher time frames, the daily chart, etc. And I've gone ahead and put a stop loss in place in case I'm wrong. Underneath this level, just underneath, in fact, we'll mark this up so we can see it. Just underneath this level, I've got my stop loss in place, and this stop loss is representing a point at which I will take an $800 loss should I be incorrect about this idea. So just below this previous low, if that comes into play again, if things come back down without shooting back up pretty quick, I'll be out of the trade for a loss. Whereas I think we have the potential for a bigger swing to the upside. We'll see if I'm correct about that, but I think we have a slight possibility of returning at some point here in the future up to a 110 mark again, 110.5, and perhaps even beyond, especially considering our fundamental catalyst, which is, of course, this Russia-Ukraine situation. The Russia-Ukraine situation has potential to escalate, and if it does, not that I want to see any of that happen, but if it does, it will likely result in oil becoming a more scarce and more interesting asset to be an owner of, right? Oil, of course, a big thing between Russia and Europe. The trade of oil and commodities like it are, of course, increasingly rare when there's sanctions and problems between different East and West economies and countries. So I've kind of positioned myself in case that does become a thing to catch a nice little run here. So we'll see if I'm correct about that. Again, I've got my stop loss in place, and I also want to mention one other technical factor. We have this upward trend line as well as this 61.8% retracement. We've drawn our fibs from the swing low here back in mid-August up to the high there in mid-September, and we've basically set up ourselves, well, okay, we're tagging the 61.8. I'd like to see that level pretty quickly react, otherwise we'll be out for a loss. So there's the trade breakdown. I've shared this inside of the group just moments ago before filming this video. And so if any updates come out, you'll see it inside of the Discord channel, which of course, if you're not already in there, you can sign up down below in the description. So there we go. We'll pause the video, give this some time to play out, and we'll check back in a few days. All right, guys, so here's an update on the CAD JPY trade that I took here recently. Of course, here is where we entered the trade, and you can actually see price has sort of teetered around, and it's closing towards the end of the week, and we are just near the lows. And believe it or not, I'm actually going to close this trade out for a loss, but I'm going to close out on a loss for a good reason. I think a good reason to do it, and we're going to go ahead and close this trade as we speak. We're going to close the position fully. Bam, we are out. The reason I'm closing it is because I believe in closing trades quickly. Like when losses happen, when losses are forming, I'm happy to jump out of a trade. I believe quickly taking losses is a key component to my trading strategy that has helped to make me successful over my trading career. Part of the reason for this is that we didn't see the price reaction that I was looking for. Remember, if you watch the first portion of the trade, I was looking for this area to react pretty dang quickly and to get a strong rally, perhaps just a double bottom before starting to rise again for the CAD JPY. It's now going into the weekend, and I don't want to risk the over weekend gap, which could gap much lower if things continue to go bearish, as we've been seeing a pretty quick sell-off here in the equities market, which has some positive correlation to things like CAD JPY. So if we go back to CAD JPY, you can see they're both moving down, and I'm willing to just go ahead and call it quits on this trade. I have some other trades that are working really well, and I just like to cut losers quickly, and I am by no means opposed to the idea of closing losing trades early if they aren't doing what we were expecting out of the markets. We had an idea, it didn't quite work out, and we might have saved ourselves some money on this just by closing out of a trade quickly. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If it was helpful to you, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and with that, we'll see you next time. Looks like it's time for your next trading video. Check out the videos here and here for more free trading content that should help you in your trading journey. We try and keep it real here, so make sure to subscribe for more content that is down to earth, realistic Forex trading content. See you in the next video.